back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys! So I'm here today to do my March TBR, which I'm so excited about because we have lots of things going on in March. First up, we have the BookTube SFF Awards. Read-alongs are starting, which is super exciting. So of course I've got a couple of things I need to read for that. And then alongside that, there seems to be a lot of really good books that are being released in March. So I have a few new releases I want to be reading as well. And then I also have my SFF Mistress Works project I'm doing, so I want to read a few more for that. So let's talk about what I'm planning to get to this month. Starting off with the BookTube SFF. So I have 2 books that I need to read in order to be able to read BookTube SFF books because they are the first in a series and the ones that were nominated were the second in a series. So I'm going to try and get through them in March so that I can start on the second ones when they are scheduled for April and May. So the first one I have to read is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. A Court of Mist and Fury has been nominated, so in order to read that, obviously I need to read the first one. So I'm going to try and read that this month. It's not too long and the text is okay sized, it's not big. It's just over 400 pages. It feels really nice, I must say that about it. I've heard very mixed things. I think a lot of people seem to like this series, but a lot of people don't. I'm not a huge fan of Sarah J. Maas's previous book, so we'll see. I've heard the second one in the series is amazing, but this one is not, so I'm going to go into it trying to be open-minded, but if I don't like it, you'll hear about it here first, don't you worry. As I said, I will also be needing to read another first book in a series, and that is Magnus Chase and the Sword of Summer, which is by RIORDAN. This is the first one in the Magnus Chase series of books. The second one, which is The Hammer of Thor, is the one that has been nominated, so again, I need to read this in order to read the second one when it comes up. This one is just under 500 pages, so it's a bit longer, but the text is a bit bigger, and I think it'll be quite an easy read because it's a kid's book, so fingers crossed it's a fun one. I have read a few Rick Riordans in the past and I enjoyed them. I read the first 4 Percy Jackson books a while ago, like a long time ago, and I enjoyed them well enough, so I'm hopeful that I'll like this, and I'm going into it again with an open mind and hopeful that it'll be really good, so we'll see. And then moving on to the ones that are actually scheduled for BookTube SFF reading in March. We have 5 things that we will be reading in March. The first of those is Furthermore by Tahara Mafi. I've read Tahara Mafi's other book, didn't think it was great, but I've heard amazing things about this one. It's about a young girl called Alice who has pale white skin and milk white hair, and in a world brimming with colour she stands out because of how colourless she is. It seems as though it's going to be quite a fun one. Hopefully it'll kind of deal a little bit with race and stereotypes, which sounds quite good, so fingers crossed I like it. Again, the cover is beautiful, so that's always a plus. The next one which we're planning to read is This Savage Song, which is by V.E. SCHWAB. V.E. SCHWAB is an author who I think has excellent ideas and never really gets anywhere with them. Very harsh, I know, but I genuinely have read quite a few of her books now and I just don't feel like she ever develops them to the point I'm hoping for. So I'm hopeful that maybe this one will impress and surprise me, I don't know. It says it's about a girl called Kate Harker and August Flynn who are heirs to a divided city. It's a city where monsters are very real and very deadly, and Kate wants to be ruthless like her father. August just wants to be human. Don't really know much more than that, but I'm hopeful that it will be a bit more developed than previous ones by her and that I'll really like it. And then the 3 other things that you have to read for BookTube SFF are actually things I've already read, so I'm happy about that. The first one is NINEFOX GAMBIT by YOON. I've just read this last month, so I won't be rereading it because I've literally only just read it, but I definitely enjoyed it and I thought it was a really interesting book, so I'm looking forward to seeing what people think about this on the Goodreads group. And as always, there will be loads of stuff going on the Goodreads group, so as you're reading these books, please feel free to leave all of your thoughts there. We'd love to hear them, or tweet them at us, whatever you want to do. The one that is for short fiction is Every Heart a Doorway by Sean Ann Maguire. I love this book, it's so good. It's a beautiful, really enchanting novella, and the second one is just as good, so look out for that one when it comes out very soon.
I love this, so I think loads of you will. I'm not going to say much more than that because I think you just need to read it and love it, and yeah, it's great, so great. And the final one that is up for reading is MONSTRESS Volume 1 by Sana Takeda and Marjorie Liu. This is amazing. It's definitely so beautiful, and the story is fantastic, and it deals a lot with different types of people, and I love that, and I just think it's fantastic. So you should certainly read this as well in March. Now moving on to the two books I'm planning to read for my SFF Mistress Works reads. The first one that I am already a little way into, although not that far, I'm like 50 pages in, is a short story collection by James Tiptree Jr. which is called Her Smoke Rose Up Forever. I did put this in my previous TBR, but I didn't really get around to it as quick as I wanted to, so I'm going to prioritise it a bit more this month. And as I say, I've read a few of the short stories in here. I haven't been blown away yet, but I'm hopeful that I've got a lot more to go, so yeah, there's plenty more time. This is quite a long one, so to counteract the fact that this is quite a long one, I went for a tiny short one as my other pick for the month, and that is this one, Ursula K. Le Guin's The Word for World is Forest, which is a novella. It was the winner of the Hugo Award, and as far as I know, it's about a world that's been conquered by bloodthirsty humans. Not humans, humans. They find themselves forced into servitude at the mercy of their masters. Eventually desperation causes them to abandon their strictures against violence and rebel against their captors, but in doing so they have endangered the very foundations of their society, for every blow against the invaders is a blow to the humanity of the Athshins, and once the killing starts there is no turning back. This one is super short, it is only 128 pages, so it should be a very easy, quick read, and I'm so excited because I've loved the previous two Ursula Le Guin books I've read, and I've no doubt that I'll enjoy this one as well, so hopefully I'll enjoy both of these SF Mistress Work books, but we'll see. I'll definitely report back to you guys and let you know what I thought. Now moving on to some of the books that come out in March that I want to get to. The first one I have is SPACEMAN of Bohemia, which I was sent for review. It just kind of turned up in the post. I didn't request this one, but it sounds pretty cool. It's by JAROSLAV KALFAR, and he is a Czech author, I believe, so it follows a Czech astronaut going into space, and there's some sort of weird dust cloud situation and no one really knows what's going on. That's as much as I know. It's got beautiful purple edges and it sounds like it's going to be a fun one. I definitely like the idea of seeing it from a different perspective, so Czech perspective is definitely going to be different from an English perspective or an American one. Looking forward to that element, and hopefully it's a really good book, so I'll definitely report back. This one comes out on the 9th of March, yes, so look out for this in shops soon. Another one that is coming out on the 9th of March, and one that I'm so excited about, is this one, Empress of the Fall, which is by David Hare. You guys know that David Hare is one of my favourite authors. He is an epic fantasy writer. He is a New Zealand-based writer, but he involves Eastern and Western culture in his books, and he does it really well. This is a continuation from his previous quartet, so it's a new quartet, starting with this one. You can read it without having read the previous, but you will spoil some of the things in the previous quartet, so I would say start with that quartet and then read this afterwards, from what I've read so far. I'm not that far into it, I'm only about 70 pages, and I'm really enjoying what I've read. It's a long book, it's going to take me some time, and yeah, 650-ish pages, so it's going to take me some time, but I'm loving it, and I definitely want to enjoy this one and take it slow and just be able to report back to you guys when I've read it. I have no doubt I'll enjoy it, but I don't know quite how much yet, so look out for my review of this once I've read it. And then coming out at the end of March, I think around the 28th, is Lani Taylor's Strange the Dreamer. I have enjoyed some of Lani Taylor's work in the past, so I'm hopeful that I'll enjoy this new series from her. This one sounds like it's going to be a bit crazy. It sounds like there's a lot of different elements being pulled into this. I think Eleanor just read it and enjoyed this, so hopefully I will too. I don't really want to know too much more about it than what I already know, which is basically nothing. So I'm going to go into it fairly blind. Again, blue pages, so cool. And hope that I like it, so we'll see what happens, but definitely one I want to get to. And again, this one is about 520 pages, so it's a bit of a long one. And then I have two final books that I just want to pick up because they are either recent releases or books I picked up recently. So the first one is The Dragon's Blade Veiled Intentions, which is by Michael R. Miller. He sent this one to me for review because I read and really enjoyed the first one when that came out a while back. I really enjoyed the first one. I'll link my review for that down below if I remember. And I really think that this is going to be a fun series, so I'm looking forward to going back into it again. And then the final one that I have on my TBR is this one, which was in the March Book Buddy box. It's Terror by Mitch Benn, and this one is one I've never ever heard of before Eleanor put it in the Book Buddy box so I'm hopeful I like it. It's a science fiction, I believe, and apparently it's kind of in the same vein as Roald Dahl crossed with Douglas Adams and Terry Pratchett, which sounds pretty good to me because I like all of those authors, and I'm hopeful that I'll like this. And it's got all the post-it notes from Eleanor inside, so I'm excited to get to it. And that is everything, my friends, which is quite a lot, as always. But I did really, really well in February, so I'm hoping I can kind of maintain that momentum and get some really great reading done. We'll see. I've got a long commute every day to work, so I get a lot of reading done in that time. So hopefully I can crack on with all of these. But do let me know in the comments below whether you have plans for March, what you'll be reading, if you're going to be joining in with any of the ones I'm reading, if you're going to be joining BookTube SFF or the SFF Mistress Works. Tell me all of that down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.